Hello, everybody. I'm very sorry I cannot be there today with you in France. Unfortunately, I have to be in the UK for a meeting with Andy Ransom and the other senior managers from around the world. However, I would like to give you an update on IT in Europe, and starting first in France. You've made excellent progress this year across all of the projects that you've been supporting, and there's been excellent progress also in Europe in all the other countries, particularly with the separation of the joint venture and other M&A activity that I will come back to in a moment. In France, you've helped the business to achieve its objectives and support a number of priorities, particularly around the payroll system replacement, the deployment of InnyTrack, and the Atlas and SIS upgrades that have supported a number of key initiatives. Mark and Laurent and the team have been working on the new mobile contract with Bouygues, and that's delivering lower cost and also better performance. And you've also supported the disposal for RLD or Calige and the program of projects that is associated with that. And finally, there's been a lot of great work around the upgrade of hardware for the salespeople for both laptops and smartphones, and that's been completed for 230 people. I'm really delighted with the excellent communication with Fabrice and the Comex. There's a big change in that level of communication compared to a few years ago. And what's great to see is that the IT team in France is fully aligned to the business priorities and working on the projects that are going to deliver the biggest benefit. I just wanted to give you an update on the IT team in Europe. And there are 3 changes since we last spoke. And here, starting in Germany, Christine Schulz has replaced Michael Henn as the IT director, and she's now been in place for 2 weeks. I'm also delighted that Peter Gruber has joined the company to support the Alps region, which is Austria, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Greece, and will also be supporting any acquisitions into new territories. And then finally, Franco Michelin has joined, and he has replaced Alessandro Gabagnati, who has left the company earlier this year. With the acquisitions, firstly, the CWS Boco joint venture. So we've been working very hard on the separation of this project. And this is all of the IT and systems and infrastructure in 10 countries. And as at this point in time, we have completed 95% of the projects and aiming to complete the separation by the end of 2018. With Canon Hygiene, we've integrated 2 businesses in Spain and Portugal. And as you know, with France, you've completed the separation of the RLD business, and you will be supporting their transition onto the ERP that Calige use and their other systems. In Italy, we had a large acquisition of CWS, and that's a 50 million euro business, and that's being integrated with our 25 million euro hygiene business, and that project is aimed to be completed by the middle of 2019. And then in Portugal, a recent acquisition, a company called CleanStation, which is 8 million euros, and that's a hygiene business with national coverage. And then finally, in Germany, we've bought a fumigation business, and the integration for this project has just started. And this company, S&A, are based in Hamburg in northern Germany. So a lot of exciting progress with both the acquisition and disposal, and again, IT playing a very key role. With mobile apps, excellent progress across Europe and in particularly in France. The plan is to deploy 3,000 smartphones to frontline colleagues in Europe by the end of 2018. And as I said, the InnyTrack and ServiceTrack deployments are underway in 2018 with the aim of probably completing those in the first quarter of 2019. We're also planning to deploy other apps to support our service colleagues, and this is the real advantage of deploying small apps, and it means that we can deliver those quickly, prototypes, and test those in the field rather than waiting for one big upgrade. And then finally, the apps are synchronizing with both the iCabs and Atlas systems now in real time, which is delivering huge benefits to the business, particularly in the customer care teams, and also the data being delivered to the smartphones for the service drivers and technicians. And then just expanding on that, so as you can see from this slide, that Service Track is more than just one app. It has the ability, starting on the left-hand side, to integrate with Service Plus, which we use for service planning, with the Leads app. So this is where technicians and drivers can submit leads, and those are submitted and then tracked through the Leads application. And then in the top right, we have the Site Plan application, which will be launched soon, which will provide the technician visibility of the site plan at a customer site. And then finally, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a waste transfer app for managing the legal requirements in various countries for the transportation of hazardous waste. Then with the sales ecosystem, so just building on that, we've deployed the Advantage system in France, and as you know, we use SIS to support hygiene and workwear. And we have some other applications, starting with Solo, which allows the salesperson to manage their prospects and their leads. The Site Risk Assessment app that allows the salesperson to complete the site risk assessment, and this information is then communicated to the technician. And then with account management, this allows our frontline colleagues who complete account management reviews with customers to complete a structured review, capture the information, and communicate the report back to the customer. And then finally, we have the Portfolio app, which basically is the display and access to iCab's data from the phone rather than needing access via a VPN or being in the branch. So IT security is absolutely my #1 priority, and something that we focus on across all of the applications and infrastructure that we deploy. It's critical that we ensure that the servers and devices are all using the latest patches coming from Microsoft, particularly to ensure that if there are any issues with ransomware or malware, that we are protected as best as we can be. We have to make our users aware of the risk, particularly of phishing attacks. And these are more common now with emails where potentially they contain links and attachments that could potentially deploy ransomware and malware onto the device. And we're also this year working on a project to complete network and server separation, which means that if we do have an incident within the country, we can actually limit the spread of that particular issue. So finally, in summary, 2018 has been an excellent year for IT in France and across Europe. You, as the French team, have developed a reputation for excellent project delivery. You've demonstrated that on all of the projects that have been completed. We also need to ensure that the Workday payroll project is delivered successfully. This is a very high-profile project and one that will have big benefits to the business, but also could result in issues if the project is not delivered successfully. And as you all know, IT is at the heart of all major business projects, and so the role that you play in supporting the business is only going to get bigger. We're deploying smartphones plus the InnyTrack and Service Track, and this will be a big step forward for our service colleagues. And I know, talking to Fabrice, the feedback from the service drivers in hygiene and workwear particularly has been extremely positive. We need to continue to deploy our new network capability to ensure that the business has the appropriate level of network performance as we move more and more traffic across the networks every day. And I think there's an opportunity next year to deploy the Chiamo system into pest and hygiene to bring that to the same standard that we have within workwear. So 2019 is going to be another very big year for IT in France. And finally, I would just like to thank you all very much for your hard work, your support, and everything that you do for the business in France. And I wish you a successful meeting today, and I look forward to seeing you all in Paris in the very near future. Thank you and goodbye.